Hey guys, so one more quick Cannonball preparation video here. And before I get into it, I want to say thanks to you 12 folks who subscribed to my YouTube channel after the last video. You know, I never really paid attention to that much anymore or before until recently I found out that uh, the more subscribers you have on YouTube, you get privileges, right? And so if I get a few more subscribers, then they give me the right to choose a custom URL, right? So I can have a URL that makes sense, that's easier to share than just the alphabet soup that I have right now. So anyway, it's if you enjoy these videos, or if you want to keep seeing them, subscribe, and that'll help me get that little goal. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. I'm not making money off this. This is just for fun, all that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, so this time I want to talk a little bit about I did the steering head bearings on the Cannonball bike. 1916 Indian, number 97, 2020 Cannonball. So I'll give you a little about that. I put new bearings in the front wheel, and the bottom end of the engine is now in the frame. So stand by. I'll give you some details. Thanks for watching. Let's have some fun. Hang on. Oh, and I forgot to say, there's a surprise at the end of the video. Stand by. Before I put this all together, let's look at the old and the new here, okay? Especially this is the upper cone. You can see it's pretty notched up. I don't know, I think it's hard to see in the video, but there you go. So you can imagine how that thing was steering with the notches in the bearing race like that. This is the new one, huh? That I got from Ziggy. This is the lower cup, and again it's kind of notchy. Also had a crack in it, see right there. So these come oversized. These bikes, pretty much everything you got to hand fit because they're not as standard as modern stuff. So I had to cut this to size so it'll fit up into the steering neck. Right, now we get pulled into place. Now the top, this is interesting. This is the old top cup, right, that threads onto the neck once it's through the frame. Okay, threads onto the fork, and it must have been really bad at one time because the bottom half of it is actually broken off. Okay, so it has had. And you can see the notches in it. It has had so much wobble in it that this broke off, and so it wasn't that bad when I was riding it, so it must have been fixed up to some extent with new balls, but this is how it should look, right? That's how it should look. That's how it does look. So they're upside down, but you can see that the bottom quarter inch of that thing is gone. All right, so anyway, this is the new one, freshly nickel plated on my wife's kitchen stove. As is this, right? Because these are the parts that are exposed to the elements. So yeah, nickel plating on the kitchen stove, and guess what? She even helped. So what a woman, huh? So there you have it. We'll get it all put together now. It doesn't take anything really fancy to pull these bearings into the frame. I just use this nice piece of B7 all thread and whatever washers and spacers it takes to make it work. Now oh looky here, we have a visitor. All right. Anyway, races are pulled in place. All right, put a nice gob of grease on there, that good John Deere grease that everybody tells me the thing to use. 1/4-inch ball bearings, 19 of them here and 19 of them down here. Okay, now you can fit 20 in there, so you might think it takes 20, but if you look at the 1916 parts manual, 19 is the number. Okay, so it leaves a little room for them to move around. All right, so I'm going to put the foam down, and I'm going to insert that up in there, and put this on it, and go from there. Okay, so the fork's all in place with the new bearings. Smooth as a baby's bottom. It's going to be really much nicer to ride that way. If you ever, you know, grease the bearings on your Schwinn or your Huffy when you were a kid, pretty much the same setup. It's got this wedge on the bottom tightened by that bolt, and just a single clamp for the handlebar. Now that's up to 1916 on the Indians. In 1917 they went to more of a triple clamp arrangement. So, but yeah, this will just go in here, go down, get wedged. The handlebar's going to clamp. Easy peasy, simple setup. I think we'll make that a wrap. Back on the wheels. New bearings in the headstock, new bearings in the front wheel, brakes serviced, grease cups serviced, new bearings in the rear wheel, brake looked good in the back, and the bottom end of the engine is in the frame. So next time we'll talk a little bit about all of this linkage. Had a friend that was asking for some details on that. So we have linkage for the throttle, the magneto, and the compression release. So I'll cover all that next time. So anyway, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Oh.